of knowledge we spend all day, talking spiders every week they don't play. From the tarantula to the tiny mite, 8 legs of wisdom bringing truth to light. On the spider sense they break down the fear, creepy crawly legends are getting clear. For the love of science spreading wide, uniting communities in arachnid pride. We tune in, listen up, let it right, feel the fascination flip overnight. Spider wisdom flowing through the airwaves, building bridges with the facts it pay.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Spider Sense podcast, episode 3. This is my guest, Arachnid Ash, or Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Today we are going to, of course, interview Arachnid Ash, but we're also going to talk about living with arachnids and other peculiar exotics, especially since a lot of us do keep our animals at home. I do want to talk about the different impacts that they have on us as keepers, but just in general and what it's like. Because for some it is a hobby, but for the other half it is a lifestyle. So the first question I wanted to ask you, Ashley, is How did you get into the hobby?
Well, I got serious about the hobby about probably almost a year ago. That's when I really started collecting, but I have had a love for spiders since I was like 4 years old. I've always been fascinated. Yeah, I've been fascinated. I have a love for them. I got my first Gramsola. I don't know if they changed the name, the rose hair, about 18 years ago, and she's the one that sadly passed away a few months ago.
Oh.
But I had her almost half my life. So, and that's when I kind of picked up my first tarantula, but serious about a year ago. So
that's awesome. How many tarantulas do you have about?
I have 8 total right now.
Awesome. What kind of different species do you have?
So my species, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 New World, and I have 1 Old World.
Well, that's
so
awesome.
A lot of them are slings, but they're growing pretty fast. So I'm getting to get more slings, but yeah, most of them are slings right now.
Do you like growing them out?
Yes, I love the process. I love it. Do you like have you had slings? Did you usually raise theirs as slings?
Yeah, so when I got the first tarantula I got, it was a juvenile and it was from Petco. His name is Freddie. I did a few months of research before I got my first tarantula, but the biggest thing for me was to make sure I could handle like actually being with the spider, because I did grow up like me and my brother would go around feeding spiders like in the corners of like hallways of like the apartment building we lived in. Like that was just something we did. I loved like 8-Legged Freaks. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's like
8-Legged Freaks. Maybe. How old is it? How old is it?
I think it was like 2002.
Okay, I'll have to look at it.
Like when it came out, it was still like VCR, but it's such a good movie. You should totally check it out.
Okay.
It's definitely like my journey to coming to like keep tarantulas, but I also like played like the spider game on the PlayStation as well, and I love that game. It was a spider game. But anyways, so I went to Petco and I picked up my first tarantula, made sure I could rehouse it and everything, and I immediately fell in love. So I wasn't sure what kind of tarantula he was, because when you buy from chain pet stores, they don't label them correctly, so you never really know what you're coming home with.
Yeah, I didn't either when I got my first one. I just bought her and then I kind of figured it out from there. But yeah.
Right, yeah. And so, but then my next step, I did go ahead and order a bunch of slings from Tom Saxon. I think that was the first breeder I bought tarantula slings from, and I love raising them from babies. It's so much fun. Like you get to know them like personally and
their personality, and like I love when they molt is the changing. Like my one just started my regalias, P. regalias, Indian ornamental, like when she just had her recent molt, like before I just put her in that enclosure, and like just the colors and everything. I just love the transition of like the process of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because some of them have like super dramatic color changes from slings to adults.
Yes. Yeah, I have the Mexican red meat, and there's no really color on her yet, and I'm so excited to see that color finally show. But she's still a sling right now, but hopefully soon I'll get to see those pretty colors because I'm really excited about that one.
For sure, for sure. I have a Mexican Fire Lake too. I love her.
Okay.
She's actually
Yeah.
my mom's favorite species.
Oh, they're so pretty. That was one of mine I wanted to get for a long time, and I'm glad I got one. But yeah, beautiful spider.
Yeah, they are so cool. But yeah, I love raising my I loved raising my slings because at first I was very terrified of my spiders, to be perfectly honest, and like just opening the lid, I was scared, I was shaking, sweating.
Mhm.
I was just
Mhm.
like really nervous, but
It
like
still
growing with
happens.
them,
Yeah.
yeah, I still scream, I still get
Yeah.
nervous, like
Yeah.
because like they're very unpredictable. As much as they are predictable, some days they just catch you off guard.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Especially the fast ones. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my Poecilotherias, I've gotten better with them, especially because I raised my one of them, my mature male Louis from a 1 inch sling, and I actually got to hold him once, and he's just so calm, and they're not very defensive.
Yeah.
Like I've never had one throw a threat pose at me. They've threat posed each other because I've been trying to breed mine, but
Okay.
they're really shy. They're like, just big scaredy cats. They don't want to
Yep.
be disturbed, anything really.
No.
The first thing
No.
they do is take off running and hide.
That's what I'm saying. They more run than anything. Yeah. Sorry, my
Yeah.
cat's joining us right now too.
That's okay. That's okay.
He likes to
He
go.
can be there. I sometimes like to hold my dog too.
Okay.
She's she's actually like sleeping, taking a nap in the bed. She's
You
bougie.
have two, right? Do you have two
Yes.
dogs? Okay. I saw
Yeah.
those in the in the post. They're cute. A husky and a little one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and they do well together, really
Yeah.
well. They get
That's cute.
along. I did have to teach my husky to be gentle, because she is
Oh,
I call her a killer, because if anything small is around, she
yep.
chases it. You
Yeah. They
know,
just don't know their size either. And yours
no,
is that a little chihuahua? Is that a chihuahua you have?
yeah, she's a
Okay.
teacup. She's like
Okay.
at most 4 pounds. She's like this big.
Oh.
Coco.
Thank you.
Oh, she comes right away. Come here. Come
Yeah.
here, baby bee. You're okay. Oh, here's my little tiny dog.
Oh.
Say
Oh,
hi to me.
cute. Oh,
She's literally like this big,
so tiny.
super tiny, but she's the best dog ever. She has an
It's a pretty
attitude.
color.
Yeah, she's got little spots on her chest.
Oh,
She's the cutest. We
very
got her
cute.
from some really nice gentleman out here that bred her really well, and even gave us like a bunch of dry dry food, but it was like purified, so it was just like powder, so she could just lick up food because she was so tiny.
Yeah.
We're just the tiniest. She's got a really big personality. She chases off everything.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's your dream spider?
I have a couple. I have a list. I did write them down. I know this is probably, but a black widow. That's on my list
Yes,
for
I had
sure.
one. I had one. They're awesome.
I want one. I do. Orb weave spiders. I have in the past, and I would say over almost 11 years ago, I did own a Goliath bird eater, the Theraposa blondie, but I would like to own another one again. Um, and then I have been looking at have you heard of like the David Bowie huntsman spider?
Yes,
I
yes.
want one
Those
of
ones are
those.
quick. Those ones are
Yeah,
cool though. I've
they're
seen
really
them.
cool. And
Mhm.
then what else? And then I know I talked to you about this one, the sun tiger, the Venezuelan sun tiger.
Mhm.
Very
Yes.
pretty.
I
Uh,
love my girl. She's so spicy.
she's so pretty though.
She is.
She's very pretty.
And she'll disappear for a little while, but then she'll come back out and hang out and let us see her.
Make her presence a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. I think is that all of them?
I I want Balfour. I want a communal. I do want to own a communal like Laws.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
I do that.
I'm nervous
Mhm.
about owning a communal.
No, that's one of my thing. I want like a huge communal of them. Yeah. And then Brazilian giant blonde tarantula. And then that's it right now. I probably have more, but I mean, that's my current list. I had to write down real quick. So,
That's awesome. Those are all like super great ones, like the widow, and I have a orb weaver. She's wild caught.
okay. That's
She's a
awesome.
cat
I didn't
ear,
know that.
and she's super cool. She's super chill. She's the least spooky spider I have. I mean, besides
Okay.
the jumpers, but like when I feed her, it's like so much fun. She
Yeah,
will
I bet
literally
you.
like she'll like come down, get the prey, web it up, and then I can just like pull the tongs out, and she just keeps going.
Yeah, I've watched the
Awesome.
video. It's fascinating what they do. That's probably why I wanted to own one. It's just the process of how they eat. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird, but yeah, it's how they
yeah.
catch their prey and do that stuff.
Yeah, and also like the huntsman. I loved I didn't have a David Bowie, but I did have a Thailand ghost huntsman spider,
Okay.
and I like the scientific name is crazy, but I loved her. She was so spooky looking. I never really like tried to handle her or anything, but she was
Hmm.
awesome to keep. I love her. I
That's
miss
awesome.
her. She passed away like a little while ago, but she now I have this Brazilian wandering spider, or it's a tiger wandering spider, not a Brazilian. Um,
Okay.
and the difference is like the venom. Like this spider doesn't have medically significant venom, where the Brazilian wandering spider does. But some of the spiders that I have personally on my wish list is I definitely want a Brazilian wandering spider too.
Okay.
And I do want another Black Widow because I did have one, but she passed away last year. She was wild caught. I
Okay.
do have a lot of native spiders where I live.
Okay.
And so, like, especially with like the jumpers and the true spiders, I'll go outside and collect them. Um, but other than that, just because they don't last as long, and I
I
don't really want to
know.
pay the $50 plus the
Yeah.
extra shipping. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
I
caught a
were to
wolf spider and he didn't last very long either.
They
Hmm.
don't. They don't. And my tiger wandering spider is not even gonna last as long. It sounds like a year at most. So I was like, darn. But I also I also want the Goliath bird eater. I don't have that tarantula yet. I want one so bad. I just
Do you
sealed
want to
one.
sling? Do you want to raise it as a sling, or would you rather have it as a mature?
I think I would want one that's like in between, so I can see the growth, but also get used to it. Just because I've never had a 12-inch spider. Like I have 6-inch pokies,
Hmm.
but I just I definitely know I'd be nervous with a really big
Yeah,
spider
those.
that big.
When I had mine, my husband bought it for me at the time when we were dating, and it was about 12 inches, huge. I mean, I had a tank. I want to say it was like a 75-gallon,
Yeah,
um,
I'm sure.
huge spider compared, but yeah, at least 12 inches, and it hissed, and that scared the
Yeah,
crap out of me. So,
yeah.
but
Oh
I
my
still want to get another one. So, but it's like the mother of all spiders, I feel. You should
oh,
definitely, in your collection, you should own one if you're serious about it.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
so
cool to
too.
have one.
I definitely think so too, because I've seen
Yeah.
my friends in person, and oh, I'm so jealous. But like also like you said, they do get really big, and they do require like a 75-gallon or a really big enclosure.
A
So
really big, yeah.
I'm waiting until I have more
Mhm.
room to add bigger spiders like that.
Yeah.
I also want like Panthobetus species, and I want more Exinthus species. Those are like the blue bloom, the
Okay. Do you plan on
tarantulas.
breeding those? I know you're breeding your others right now, but you want to like start the breeding?
Yeah, and it's more of like just like a project for me because I'm only gonna breed the tarantulas that I have, because they're the species that I'm most passionate about, and I think
Hmm.
I would have the most joy doing that with. Um, because I would like to have my own online spider shop one day, and I
That
would
would
like
be
to
really
do it.
cool.
Yeah, it would be.
That
And
would
I
be
want to
cool.
be like Tom Patterson and Tom Saxon and have all these captive bred babies and support the hobby just so that, people do have the option to have more species available to them, or just tarantulas, because like, sometimes you're looking for a species, not everybody has it,
Yep.
or even sometimes nobody has it.
Hmm.
But I do want to start off with like the species that I have kept for a while, I know and I'm familiar with, because I don't want to get like, some old world species that I've never dealt with, even as slings, and then try to breed them.
Yeah.
I just don't think, because like even with my
No.
Posotherias, I was really nervous.
Yeah.
It's so nerve-wracking because like you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, that's what I mean. You don't mess the old worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're totally different ball game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're so much different, and like they all have their different personalities. Like the Pokies, they're the highest venom, but they're pretty docile, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I agree. What? You guys can too?
so what if, so you have tarantulas, and then you also have ball pythons, right?
Yes, I have two.
Who do you love interacting with most? Your tarantulas or your ball pythons?
Well, when I first got the snakes for sure. But I'm gonna have to stay my spiders still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm
Hi,
sorry. My
puppy.
other one.
That's so cute. Hi,
Oh, this is
puppy.
Spider. Yeah.
Aw, his name is
And
Porter.
she's a yeah, she's a
He's
rescue.
my
Oh my goodness. Good job.
hi, big baby.
Oh, come on.
He's like, Mom, I want to be a part of the show.
It's because I was holding the cat. It all starts, and I have another dog, and then he's gonna go too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna start a cycle of jealousy.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
I've had to deal with that personally with
It
like my
is.
dogs.
It
My own
is.
dogs
Yeah.
get jealous of me talking to my reptiles and like my other animals, and
Yes.
then like she'll go and like
Yes.
be on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
girl,
like kind of baby talk, and then my dogs will yelp because I'll be baby talking the snakes or
yeah,
whatever. So, yeah, it's something. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
funny.
I I definitely prefer my reptiles to interact with.
Hmm.
I do like that they can recognize me. They, like especially with my crested gecko Jinx, like when I first got him, he was so shy and he was so turned off to like people.
Are they
And
very social?
the crested geckos,
Uh-huh.
they can be, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. But I've had him for like a whole year, and it's taken like 8 months, for him to really have a relationship with me. And that's something
Okay.
like I can measure. And I like that, like, and it's very rewarding to me when I can
Hmm.
see that relationship build. Because, like, he would hide from me all the time. If I was in the room, he'd get scared. And now, every night he comes out to greet me, to say hello to me when I talk to him. He starts doing his tongue flicks, and it's just so cute.
Yeah.
And my tarantulas don't do that to me. They're
No,
not like,
no, no. Yeah,
hey.
that's the different. Yeah, it is the difference. The bigger ball python I have, so they're both kind of rescues. The bigger ball python came from not a great place and was very, very scared and skittish. So we've been working on her since we've had her, and we've made progress as well with that when it comes to like her like just opening up and not curling in a ball all the time, because it was like impossible to get her unballed because she was so just terrified. It was really sad to see, but just seeing that progress you make with an animal when it comes to them just trusting you, it's just a great feeling to have too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And I do like with the tarantulas, or just the spiders in general, that they are like, they don't need that emotional support from another animal, or even from you. And
mhm,
because like I feel, because like I'm also an introvert, like super introverted. Like
mhm,
I get tired from just like socializing. So like if I need to
mhm.
like just like not go in the pet room for like a couple of days, I don't feel bad, because like
Yeah,
my animals are just like, they're gonna do their own thing,
yeah,
and I can
yep,
just chill out.
exactly. That's a good way to, yeah. I never thought about it like that.
It's not like a dog where like
Hmm.
you every day, like they need your love, they need your
Yeah.
attention, because they're that much more intelligently advanced. They're dependent on us.
Hmm.
They're domesticated dogs. And
Hmm.
like some days I'm sitting here comparing, I'm like, wow, keeping these exotic pets is less emotional work for me than it is with my dogs. So it is a real stress reliever just to come in here and
It is. It's therapeutic.
for sure.
Yeah, taking care of things, at least watching them grow as slings is an awesome thing to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with my animals, they've helped me so much just like with my mental health because before I got into tarantulas and before I got into the exotics, I lived a life of just nothing. Like I was really traumatized by my past and I slept a lot. I didn't go out. I don't socialize. Like I don't go out to places and socialize with people.
Mhm.
Because I just don't find meaning in connections like that. And you know,
Mhm.
my life was really dull. I didn't even have social media. I didn't have any friends, and like when I got into the tarantulas, that all changed for me because then I created my Instagram account, and even though I
Mhm.
didn't put myself out there at first, I was still able to make connections with people inside the community. And there's so many great people in
Yeah.
the community to talk to and just have groups of just super
Yeah.
supportive
You
people.
don't realize that. You kind of feel like you're alone in this. And I mean, I from around here, I don't have friends around here that even like spiders. So it's nice to have a community online that you can share
Right,
your loves with that love them too.
right. And nobody's
Mhm.
gonna judge you for being like,
Nobody's judging, yes, nobody's
yeah,
judging you for being weird or, liking things that are like creepy. Cause,
yeah. And
'cause
you
they
know,
should.
go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, and you know, because like you want to be able to like talk about your pets and or like you know like your
Hmm.
my significant other. I don't always want to talk their ear off and you know tell them every second, every 5 seconds when my
Yeah.
snake is like, oh,
There's
he's
certain
ready.
language, there's certain languages that they don't know that
Uh-uh.
you can talk to with other people and they totally get it. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah.
yeah. That
And then
was
that's like an instant kind of bond. You're like, do you know that? I'm like, yeah.
oh, that's just like a bond you
It
like.
is. It is. It is.
It is
Uh-huh.
it's not it's irreplaceable. Like my
Yeah.
friend Liz, I'm fortunate enough that she does live in Colorado with me.
Okay.
And so like I can go see her and hang out with her and like the times that we do get together, we just talk and it's like magic. I'm like
It's
we can
refreshing. It's
talk our
refreshing.
yeah,
Hmm.
you know, because people do think we're like weird because to outsiders, a lot of people think that we don't even keep these animals in cages and think that we just live with them
Or
in our
or
house.
refuse to come to our house as well.
Really,
Yeah,
really,
not
that's
refuse, just would rather yeah, which is why we keep them in our bedroom. But yeah, some people I just got to make sure they're kept up. I don't want to freak anyone out. But no one's refused to, but they've been like, so
yeah, I totally get that.
yeah.
I definitely warn people. Like, I even have a sign on my window that says tarantula, tarantula on guard because you know the
On the
main
outside of the door.
yeah, like you can see it from the outside,
Oh, on the you said the window or the door?
the window,
Oh, okay.
especially like the window to my pet room. It's got like
Okay.
the tarantula guard sign on it because just in case, you know, like
Yeah.
the maintenance came in here or the building's burning down. At least like people know there's like giant spiders in
Spiders
here.
instead of giving them a heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also like it because it does deter people.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have, we're not very like social. We don't entertain a lot. So no one really comes over, but like family and stuff. But a lot of my other close friends, they don't mind the spiders. They're just not into them. So,
Yeah.
which is fine. But like I said, it's nice to have a community online where you can share these things and talk about it and use the language and then, and just kind of build that.
Yeah, because you know, all my friends are people I've met through the community
Hmm.
online. And I'm not afraid to say that. Because, like, I've tried
No,
to make friends in the area that I live, and it just doesn't work out for me.
it's hard, especially with this kind of hobby. If you want to find people that are like you, it is very hard to
It
find,
is.
especially in this kind of hobby. It,
Yeah. Because, seriously, like, we have giant spiders, and some people even have, you know, Burmese pythons in their
Yeah.
house. They're 20 feet
Big, big,
long.
big things. Yeah.
Big scary things, and it's just like, yeah, like that is part of, like, you know, keeping animals, is you are going to have people that you run into that are completely turned off to the fact that you do keep animals like that in your house, and they question you and they think you're
Mhm.
weird, and you know, like, you try
Mhm.
to explain to them why you
Yep.
do it. And you know, I just, you know, if I ever get to that point with some people, I don't really
I
care.
kind of have to like sometimes you throw in the towel a little bit and you're like, oh, well, it is what it is.
Yeah,
So,
seriously, I'm
yeah,
not gonna convince you of anything.
no,
Like,
no.
if that's what
It
you
is.
want to
It's
do.
one of those things you really can't explain to them because they don't have a love for it.
Right, right. And
Mhm.
honestly, like, you know, you have to be around them to understand, like, you know, because I was asking my boyfriend the other day, I was like, so, like, because I'm the one that does, like, all the spiders and the exotics. And I mean,
Mhm.
he loves the animals, but you know, he doesn't interact with them the way I do. But even him himself has said, like, it's just something you get used to. Because, like,
Mhm.
even before, like, you know, um, I wanted the snake, and he was a little scared of the snakes. So, you know, I did end up bringing home a snake, but he got used to it.
Mhm.
So,
My
and then,
husband was the same way too.
yeah,
He was freaked out, but he actually loves like setting up the enclosures and stuff now.
yeah, or like
He,
when
he,
you
didn't- he said the other day he didn't realize he'd find it so like
fun.
comforting or just enjoyable, which I
Yeah,
really, really
yeah.
like to hear.
Yeah, and like when we go to like the pet store to like look at enclosures, because like I do like to go to PetSmart and stuff for
Hmm.
enclosures because they do have good deals.
They do.
And he goes in there, he's like looking at all the different enclosures. He's like, I like this one. So yeah,
For a
I do
future
love
pet. To get
what?
another one. To get another pet.
Oh, I know. We're hoping to get a bigger space soon because I'm kind of maxed out on the reptiles for now. I just have the four, but that's enough
Okay.
for me.
How many spiders do you have?
So I have 30 tarantulas,
Oh,
and I have about oh, and then with this, I have two scorpions, the two geckos, and then my ball python and my king snake,
okay.
and my other true spiders. So I think I
Okay.
have total
Oh my
42
goodness.
to 45 pets.
That is a lot. I didn't
Yeah.
know. That's
That's why
awesome
I have
though.
like that's why I have all these big shelves now. And
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay.
yeah, but it is a lot of work. And especially with my dogs here, it's a lot
Hmm.
to manage sometimes, but it's definitely never like too much. But
Yeah.
I only work from home, so I
Okay.
am like lucky enough that like this is the majority of like my time spent is
Yeah.
with the animals, taking care of them every single day I'm in
And
here.
like you said, if it's therapeutic, it's really good for you to do that too and
Yeah,
probably be there.
yeah, you know, they give me a lot of life. Like even when I was a younger kid, I used to ride horses, and just taking care of the horses helped me a lot. Just
Yeah.
made me want to take care of myself better.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so what questions did you have for me?
I did have one question, and I don't know if it's really a question. It was like common misconceptions about tarantulas that you'd like to clear up. Things
Oh,
that people in the hobby, I guess, don't really know about keeping tarantulas or spiders in general.
okay. So I was just thinking about this the other day, and actually last night, because I was making another YouTube video, and I was messing around with my curly hair tarantula because I went to go take her out of her old enclosure so I could put her in a container just to keep her in while I transfer some of her old stuff into the new enclosure, because I that's just something I like to do because number one, it saves money, and number two, it's
Mhm.
stuff, so they immediately settle in a lot faster. But the whole handling tarantulas is something that, you know, like if you see somebody handling, and not you particularly, Ashley, but like to our audience, if you guys see somebody handling their tarantula, I mean, to a certain extent, it is your business, but at
Mhm.
the same time, like, you don't know that spider. That
Mhm.
keeper knows that spider way more than, you know, you do from just seeing it over through like the screen. You don't know if that person was just rehousing them and
Right.
that's when they decided to take them out. But just like, you know, there's like Facebook groups that will straight up bash people and kick people out of just for handling tarantulas. And honestly, I really don't think it's that serious, but
Mhm.
I do understand like one bad bite could end our hobby in so many ways. But
Mhm.
at the same time, it's just like, you know, to a certain extent, your animals are your business, but other animals
Yeah.
for other people, it's their business, you
Yeah.
know. And I just
No,
don't
I
think that.
agree. I agree with that. I think it's based on the like person too, but I f- I do feel like you do have to do your research instead of I feel like just trying to handle something.
Right,
So to see what you're, yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
right. You know, and as long as they're putting like a warning that says handle at your own risk, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, explaining that you know not all tarantulas are should be handled and don't like to be handled. Like
Yeah,
it's
they all
really
have
not.
different temperaments and all. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
also another thing is like another thing that I feel like people get confused about, especially people that are new to the hobby, is just like the housing part. Um I just feel like there's a lot of people that really just don't do their research and they just bring home this tarantula and they're
Yeah.
like,
It's,
it'll
I think they
it'll
get
do
like so
fine.
excited. They get so excited and they just put dirt in there and they call it a day. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's so
or
much more involved. Yeah,
yeah,
so
there's so
much
much
more
more
involved in
to
getting it.
it. And
Yeah.
or like, you know, they put them in a freaking 20-gallon tank and they're like still like an inch. It's like that's totally
Yep.
unnecessary or you
Yep.
know, like uh you know, that's a
Yeah.
big pet peeve of mine. It's
That
just
and that's honestly that's my metallic pink toe. That's why I grabbed him from this local pet store is because he was literally he looks almost mature. I'm pretty sure I think he's a male, but in a cup. Well, I mean, he had nowhere to go.
yeah,
Absolutely nowhere to go. And I was like, that's not okay at all.
yeah.
Just I mean,
Being
nowhere to go.
vulnerable
Yeah.
constantly will
Yeah. So that
cause
bothered
them
me.
some stress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you really gotta do your research when you just grab spiders, pet stores, and anything, just to see what kind of environment they do need to thrive in.
Right. And like, you know, another misconception is like, you know, these animals don't require as much care or money or time as like your dog or cat. That's
Mm-hmm.
completely false. These animals are very expensive. They take
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time and effort and energy to take care of, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
um, heating, electricity. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much more to
A
it than just
lot.
bringing home some random animal you fell in love with at an expo and all of a sudden you have it in your house.
Yep.
like I and I'm guilty of this. I have like just like when I bought my snake Jaime, I want him so bad that I was just like, I just gotta bring him home and I'll figure it out.
Did you get them at an expo?
I did. I
Okay.
did. But you know, I didn't have everything ready. And, you know, like the next couple days, I was still figuring out his setup and crap. And I didn't want to do that again. So, like, you know, when I went to go get my king snake,
Go with intentions on what
I
get the budget.
prepared. I
Mm-hmm.
prepared the day before the enclosure was set up. Everything was ready. Regardless if I brought home a snake or not,
Yeah.
on what I was looking for. I was still gonna have the setup ready to go, and yeah, and I spent way less money that way too. The snake was
Mm-hmm.
still expensive, but when you buy stuff off like Facebook Marketplace, which my best friend has taught me how to use to my advantage, because we both
There
like
are tons and tons of tanks. I've noticed
yeah,
all kinds. You bought
and
two.
and they are like, you know, they're so much more expensive when you buy it at an expo or even at a pet store. Like you can literally go online and find like a 4x2x2. I mean, they're not always there, but if you are a daily user of the marketplace, you'll come across some
Yeah.
fine gems, because I just recently came across like a $200 4x2x2 enclosure and I was like, oh, I want it so bad for my other snake, but I was like,
Mhm.
we're getting one anyway soon.
How
So,
much did they go for? A lot more than that?
oh yeah, like
Oh wow.
$350.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like especially when you're at the expo, they sell that stuff at full price.
Okay.
It's like if you were to go into PetSmart and you found an enclosure for a certain set price, you can go on their online, and if it's cheaper, you can price match it through the different platforms that they accept it. So like
Oh, okay.
Amazon, PetSmart.com, even
That's
I
good
think
to
you can
know.
even do it with Petco too.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I used to work for PetSmart.
Okay.
Please don't crucify me. Um, I have a lot of not so good things to say about PetSmart, but I don't want to get sued. So
Yeah.
don't work there if you're an avid animal lover. You will see so much sad stuff that
I
it'll
don't
break your
like
heart.
it.
I know.
No.
Nope. I only like when I can go there to buy accessories and different things, but I definitely don't buy my feeders from them, and I definitely don't buy any of their animals. Oh well, that's false. I have bought some tarantulas, but I try to stay away from the reptiles because I don't have the money to, save a dying animal.
I was gonna say I've heard not great things about I've heard of like dying animals from them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
That's
my
rough.
gosh. I have friends that
Mhm.
have rescued from PetSmart, and the animal was just super dehydrated, super skinny. I mean, just
Not in great condition.
no.
That's
And
horrible.
especially when you have large collections, you can't just be bringing sick animals home all the time without having a proper space to quarantine them,
Yeah.
because then you infect your own pets. And that's like the same with like the feeders. It really matters like where you get your feeders from, because if your feeders come from an extremely dirty place, they could have mites, which are gonna infest your whole collection
Yeah.
and even your reptiles and take over. And so yeah, and I mean, like, even when I do go to expos, I'm looking for that stuff, and that's why I do
So
like to buy my reptiles in person rather than online, so that
so
I
you
can,
see them
yeah, I can
for you.
see, I can see who is selling them. I can see how they're keeping them. I can ask them all these. I mean, regardless, you can ask them those questions on Morph Market too. But I
Mhm.
like to be hands-on, see them, hold them, make sure.
I've not been to an actual reptile expo yet, but I think we have one coming in May. So I
Ooh.
will, yeah, I'm really excited about that one. We didn't get to go to one that was a couple hours away from us, but I definitely want to go to one and hopefully bring back some good stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
really excited.
definitely like go with like your list in mind.
Yeah,
Save up some money, and because I want to buy everything when I go to an expo.
I'm sure it's really hard.
It is.
It,
I mean, I do go to
it's like
expos
kid in a
and I
candy
don't buy
store.
anything, but it is like I'm like the whole time I'm like, oh, I want that. I want to take that home.
Mhm, mhm.
But if
So,
I don't have extra enclosures or stuff, I definitely won't, because my biggest thing is like having a place for that animal to
yeah.
be housed and make sure I have
Mhm.
space and the materials and supplies and everything I need,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I have personally been to a few different expos. My favorite thing is just looking around at all the different animals that they have to show.
Yeah. What have
They
ones have
have
you seen?
so I've gone to quite a few different I know definitely show me reptile shows I've been to.
Okay.
And I don't know what the other names are, but we do have another one here where I live on March 1st. And so I'm going to be going there. I'm not buying anything. I just plan to vlog the whole time, honestly.
Okay.
Just so I can, show the vendors that we do have here where I live, because we do have 8 deadly sins, and we have outlaw arachnids.
Okay.
And so those are some people that I would love to, promote and show them some love, and show everybody the cool animals that are at the expos. Because I do understand, like, especially if you are an introvert, not all people like crowds.
Yeah.
And I always have my time limit too when I'm there. Like, like, I'll look around, but I'm not there all day just because the crowds do get to be too much for me. But
Yeah.
it is nice to see, and I do want to be able to show people like what the shows look like and stuff. And just a different kind of video.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to watching that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
we also I'll talk to you a little bit about Tarantula Fest.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that video yet, but I want to. But I definitely want to talk to my husband about maybe coming down or coming over there around that time. That would be cool.
oh my gosh, cause like we're definitely going again this year.
Okay.
Cause me and my friend Liz, we went last year, but we went early. And so, like, we didn't see a lot of the male tarantulas at night. I mean, we still found some, but this time we're going to go later and, possibly I might stay in a hotel.
Okay.
Just so that we can, like, stay until dusk and see all the spiders really come out.
Yeah.
They do only come out at, like, dusk.
Okay.
So that's something
That'd be
really good to know. And then, like, during the week, they do have the parade where they have, like, a bunch of different, like, spider stuff.
And that's what I think I had seen a while back. And I was like, that is so cool that they have something like a tarantula festival. That is definitely in my, where I would definitely love to go there.
Yeah, it's so cool to see people appreciate spiders for once.
Yeah.
Actually celebrated.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And they do make it like a big thing. Like they have like those it's where like they have the big screen up and they're teaching you about the tarantulas and why they migrate and how
Oh,
they're
that's really cool.
tracking them and how they even tag them.
So really about educational, more educational too, right?
Yeah, super educational. They tell you, why they're out there doing this and because like, when you take species from the wild, it affects the whole area and so they're just like doing research on that and stuff and
Okay. Oh, that's
and
cool.
they also have tours. So, but they do book up pretty fast. So, like, you would have to
Okay.
really, like look ahead, like plan ahead.
Okay. I'll have to look when I get off here and
Yeah,
see. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
I'd be down.
it's definitely cool. I mean, it's not super big, but it's
Yeah.
definitely like your usual local town
Yeah.
festival thing.
How far away is that from Denver?
Oh, it's a couple hours.
Okay.
So like Denver's like an hour away from me,
Okay.
and it took us like an hour and a half to get there.
Okay.
So I would think it would be more around like 3 hours though, especially with Denver because Denver traffic is terrible.
I
It's so
did.
bad.
We stayed
Yeah.
outside of Denver. I think it was 2 hours outside of Denver at the time. But yeah, you're right. The traffic through there to get out of it is insane.
It's insane.
Okay.
Yeah, like you will like we went to this show me reptile show over the weekend, like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But blizzard on the way home, so like it took 2 hours to get there, but it took like 4.5 hours to get back, and it was insane. Like
Yeah,
people were crashing out, everything.
you guys' seasons is like 4 seasons in one day. I remember going up the mountain. It's like 4 seasons. I feel you go through all the seasons up and down the mountain.
Literally, like
It's intense. It's intense.
it is. It's intense. Like number one, like when I first moved out here, this is totally off topic, but whatever. When I first moved out here, I had to get like adjusted to the altitude because like we live at the bottom of Cheyenne Mountain,
Okay.
and so like even when you leave the mountain, the weather changes. Like it could be super sunny over here and clear, and then like you drive 20 minutes that way, and it's totally different.
Okay.
Or like you drive 20 minutes into the mountain because like you drive like 30 minutes from where I live, you're in like the mountain range.
Okay.
So it's, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And like like you wouldn't even think like that there's like not a bunch of open space or like unclaimed land out there, but oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous when you drive through the mountain range. So if you guys do visit Colorado,
Yeah.
let me know because
I will let you know. I would love, love Colorado.
We'll take you to the tourist spots.
Thank you. Yes, I would love to.
My mom visits like every year, and she'll stay in a hotel because like we have a small house. So, but we take her out. We've taken her to Pikes Peak. We've taken her to the Royal Gorge. Red Rocks, I think we took her to also.
Mhm.
I mean, we didn't go for the concert, but we just took her over there to show her.
Yeah, I heard that place is like unbelievable to see in real
Oh,
life too.
it's
That's
crazy.
even for concerts. Yeah.
It was too crazy for me personally. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have picked an EDM concert to go to, but I don't know. I got there, I lost my sunglasses. I just lost everything that night. I was like, I want to go home. I cried. I had like a
The
little
next time it'll probably be better though.
yeah.
Like
Next
for
time I'll go to like a chill concert, like Coldplay or
I was gonna
something.
say something, yeah. I don't know if you like country
I
or any
do.
of that.
I do.
Uh Luke Combs. I don't know if he would play there or not. I think he has, but
Yeah, a lot
it'll
of
be a
people
good one.
come to play at Red Rocks for
Yeah.
sure. It is like a total hipster place now.
No, I'll definitely let you know though. I want to make that trip. That would be awesome to come over and see that.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
always have someone there. I don't know anyone there. My cousin lives there, but I don't know anyone really personally. Like I do actually know someone personally, so I know two people now.
Yep,
Three.
got
So
me. Red Clay Strays coming to Red Rocks, my
yeah.
mom says. I love country too. I do. I'm like more of like into like the older country though. Cause like,
I do like my 90s country.
oh yeah,
I grew up on
I'm a
that.
my mom.
Shania Twain.
So what?
Shania Twain.
Yep. Yeah, my mom taught me the best music growing up. So shout out to her
Mhm.
for teaching me all the best hits. Cause I listen to Pink Floyd, Metallica,
Yep. I have
all
a
this good,
range.
all
Yeah.
this
I don't
good
really
music.
have a favorite. It's whatever my mood's in, I think.
Yeah, me too. I
Mhm.
don't. I don't. I love all music.
Mhm.
It's all great. Um, but yeah, I definitely love keeping my pets. They've become like a huge part of my life. They're like more of like a lifestyle for me though. Just because like this is what I do. Like when
Mhm.
people ask me like what else do I do? I mean I walk my dogs, I go hiking,
Mhm.
I have my little hobbies, but this is like my life.
Yep.
And just like promoting positive awareness for these animals, advocating for them, teaching
Yep.
people, educating them so that they have less fear.
Yes.
And that's like
Mhm.
definitely like something that I've been what I'm super passionate about, especially with the tarantulas. It's just like promoting that they aren't the monsters that they were made out to be.
Yeah, I think that goes a lot with like movies and stuff too. Just it promotes that fear, and then from there people are just afraid based on what they see in movies too. And it's not exactly true what they see in movies either.
Right.
Of
Like,
snakes and spiders. The arachnophobia movie and like Anaconda, all the snake movies that make people fearful.
yes, and
So
that's like something also I definitely talk about a lot is like how Hollywood has influenced like how
in a
animals are looked
in
upon
a
in a
negative
negative light.
way. Yeah.
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 Like they definitely can't see us like that. Like they definitely aren't chasing us.
No, and that's what I always thought in the movie Arachnophobia. I was like, they don't chase you like that. They don't
No,
go across
never.
go across the barn with fire on them and then they keep running at you.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't happen. They would most likely find a hole to hide in and hope to
Yeah, the
God
last
that you
thing they
don't
want
come
is after
back.
you get fire and you want to torch them. I don't know. I was just, yeah, that's how fear
Yeah.
starts. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and or like how I mean, tarantulas do hiss and they can stridulate their fangs to make that noise, but like
Yes.
in the movies they're making like all these pig noises, these horse
No, it's
noises. I'm like, that's
no.
insane. They
Or
don't even do
yeah,
that. Or like in
no.
like it freaks. It's almost like you can hear them speaking English, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, what?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't, yeah. So I try to like, even with my daughters and stuff, I usually, with our snakes, I bring our snakes when I drop my kids off for school and I pick them up. So some of the kids will see the snakes. And lately, a lot of the kids have been wanting snakes as pets now. So it's kind of like bringing that kind of awareness to like saying, hey, snakes are not that bad. Like you think they are. A lot of them have never even touched a snake in their life. And now they're convincing their parents to get them a snake. So
Yeah, yeah, and you know what?
it's based on education and what you're seeing you too, you know.
Absolutely. And and if that child's parents don't have like that experience either, they
Oh
can also
yeah.
project that fear onto the child. And but it's so important for kids to be around animals and to learn
Hmm.
about them and their true nature,
And
so that
yeah, and
we can
educate them the right way on it, not the
right,
wrong way.
right, and to show them, and like show them how they contribute to our ecosystem. And asked Jenny how many times. Oh my gosh, watched Anaconda and Eight-Legged Freaks. Oh yes, that I let me tell you something. I started watching horror movies when I was like 5. I was like watching Cujo, Stephen King movies.
Yeah, I was going, yeah, I wasn't supposed to, but I did. Yeah, like
I
really scary movies.
yeah, yeah. But we definitely watched like a lot of that Anaconda. That's still like one of my favorite movies. And so like
Yeah,
now like
and that's what made me like, I haven't actually, the tattoo on my arm, but that was like the movie that set me for like, I love that movie growing up too.
really,
It made
yeah.
me like, that is like a dream snake of mine as an anaconda. That would
Oh
be, yeah,
really?
yeah,
I
yeah.
my dream snake is my mom's gonna cry when she hears this, but it's a cobra.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want a
totally.
cobra
Yeah,
so
get a
bad.
cobra.
I don't know if like some of the species I've been looking at, I can't even really keep them where I live regardless.
Oh,
So
are they not allowed?
so we
Are
have them
they?
like here native, but like yeah, I mean you would have to pretty much be an exhibitor to obtain a license, like not even
Okay.
like a breeder or keeper like. And I do believe like you would have to have like a whole different separate building to keep them in. And because Colorado is relatively would be easy place for those kinds of snakes to thrive. Like we have rattlesnakes, and we have also like other venomous snakes out here in the
Yeah.
canyons, but like people just don't want them in like their front yard and stuff.
Yeah, if they get loose or anything like that, just kind of that
Yeah,
risk. Okay.
yeah. But I love watching the venomous keepers on YouTube and Instagram. I freaking that's some balls. That's some balls to interact with some animals like that, because that's
Yeah,
scary, man.
that
Like
make that I see watch videos, it makes me nervous.
I know
Very,
I'm
very nervous.
sweating. Like my
More
tarantulas
power to
like
them though, but yeah.
like my tarantulas act scary and tough, but like I know they're not going to do anything as long as
Yeah.
I stay away from them and I don't touch them or anything.
Yeah.
Like those snakes will literally they're out to kill you, especially like female king cobras. They want to end your life. Like I'm
They're
like
beautiful but vicious.
so vicious.
So
And
pretty, so pretty though.
they are so pretty and to be respected. And I do
Hmm.
appreciate that it does require a license to keep animals like that, because that is something that is not to be messed with. Oh, you want a
Hmm.
speckled rattlesnake or a boon viper? Oh, both of those are awesome.
Yeah.
Ashley, did you know that the gaboon vipers are like the fastest striking snakes?
No.
They are.
Ooh.
They're
Mm.
cool, and they have like that little rhino
Oh, with the tip,
looking.
the tip.
Yeah, and
Oh
they
yeah.
come in all sorts of colors, and they don't get super long, but oh, they're
Ooh.
gorgeous, gorgeous.
Mm, man.
That's like also I also want like an all black python, ball python.
Yeah.
I'm not really super big into like the huge snakes, just because I don't want a horse stall to house one. But
That's what I mean. You'd have literally feel like you'd have to get like a whole big
you
other
do.
house or shed to have a big snake.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, there are ways to like, still keep them properly, but like if I were to keep like a 20-foot Burmese, I would want a stall, a horse stall to keep it in. Cuz like I
Mhm.
watch The Real Tarzan. I don't know if you know who he is, but he has like
No.
a barn for his reptiles, and
Okay.
like he changed it from like a horse barn. It looked like a previous horse barn because it's got the stall doors, the sliding doors, but he houses his like big 20-foot pythons in there and his
Oh, cool.
monitors. So
I'll have to check them out. The real Tarzan.
The Real Tarzan, yep,
Okay.
he's cool. He's got a whole sanctuary of animals, like from mules to zebras to
Oh,
different
that's
kinds of
cool.
cows. Yeah, yeah, he's a real cool guy, and he just does it all for the love of animals.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool idea to do the barn idea, the renovation. That's really a cool idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah, no, it's
Those
really
snakes.
cool. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Because I also grew up riding horses. I mean, I didn't grow up with horses, but I did ride and show horses for like my teenage years and like
Okay.
a little bit into like my later childhood. And so like just owning them and not owning them, but being around them taught me a lot. The
I'm
horses
sure
need a lot of space
those
too.
animals are very like you not I wasn't say upkeep, right? On horses.
Oh God, it's so
A lot of
expensive.
responsibility.
So much work. I mean, like even as an adult, I don't want to keep one. I don't want
Yeah.
one because
Yeah.
it's too
It's
much.
that much work. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like like boarding one is like $300 to four hundred
I think
dollars
it's like
a
over
month.
500. I'm
Yep. Or
and
500. I
at least in Florida, it's yeah.
Yeah. I also worked for a really high end dressage barn as well, and like their fee was like $1,000. Insane. But I mean,
No.
their horses did have the best care, which was me. But you know. Can you defang snakes? Probably the same concept for tarantulas. You can't do that, but I have heard for snakes. Yes. Have
You
you heard of
can't?
that? Yes, you
No.
can. You can have
No.
fang.
I didn't know that.
You can have them defanged, and I believe you can also have their venom glands removed.
Wow.
Which I just, I wouldn't even suggest anybody keeping an animal if you got to go that far of,
Oh, wow.
naturally debilitating them.
Yeah, I did no idea.
Yeah, they do though.
That honestly doesn't sound humane.
Yeah, I don't think it's humane. It's
For
you're
that, that's how they eat, right? I mean,
that's how they subdue their prey. So like venomous snakes,
yeah.
especially, that's how they subdue their prey. So they'll strike, then
Mm-hmm.
the venom will take over, and then they will go ahead and eat the animal. And it's a lot simpler than like your ball pythons, because your ball pythons will strike, grab, and squeeze, where the venomous snakes don't even have to get that close and that personal, because we all know when
Okay.
you feed a snake live, like there is a chance of that animal fighting back and biting the snake. So
Mm-hmm.
like the venom glands just take all of that out of the way. They can be in their little ambush spot, and then they can just boom, and then prey subdued. They're yeah, and it's an easy meal. It's like just like like how I know this is gonna sound crazy, you guys, but it's like how like I crush the heads on my crickets before I feed them to my tarantulas so they can just eat their food. They're not flying
I
out of there
sometimes
and
take a leg off or both.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
injure them or something just
Yeah, because
because.
sometimes, yeah, I don't want my slings to get hurt. So
No,
yeah,
no, or you don't even want them going running out of their enclosure. I've
yeah,
had that happen before.
yep, or jump out. Yeah, I've lost a couple, and then I find them a couple days later dead because I stepped on them. No, not the spiders, the crickets.
Oh, okay.
Not
Yeah, because like I've even tried having
no,
a
just
free
the
run.
crickets. They'll jump out or whatever, or I'll keep, the one will get out of the bag, or yeah, and then
Yeah,
I
and
just
that's
find.
something else. Like if you keep a lot of arachnids that require crickets, and you do keep crickets in your house, please expect like they will get loose at some point. It's
You do.
inevitable. I
It
mean,
happens. It really does. All the time,
unfortunately, yeah.
actually.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I literally like especially when I first bought like pinhead crickets. And I keep my crickets in a critter keeper because it's nice and
Okay.
ventilated.
Yeah.
And dude, they started escaping, but there was like 100 of them that I bought and I put in that critter keeper, and they were just like everywhere. I
Yeah.
started sucking them up with the vacuum, and then
That's actually a good idea. I
oh
didn't think about
yeah,
that. Yeah.
or my dogs eat them, which I was like, go right
Protein.
ahead. Oh yeah.
Protein.
But oh my gosh, and I ended up
That's
just using
funny.
nylon so that they don't escape. But
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't buy that many, but I always have some escape, or I forget like the bag and then they walk on the floor or anything like that.
or the lid's just open and they
They
can't
don't, yeah. They're,
with the
yeah. Mhm.
situation. They're like,
Yeah.
bye.
No escape spiders though. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Mine are always pretty contained. I've never had one escape. Hold on.
Mhm.
Particle board. I'm knocking on wood. Because next thing you know, I'm gonna wake up. It's somebody's gonna be crawling around. And I see the thing is with if that were to happen, if a spider were to get loose in my house, here's the thing: is like my dogs. If it was like a new world species, they could hair my dogs. You know, somebody's gonna get hurt. The tarantula might get hurt, or might get hurt in the process. That's why, like, I love like my tarantula cribs because they have the magnets.
I love the cribs. I love them.
Yeah, I do too. Cause like I literally like I can sleep peacefully at night knowing that, you know, those magnets are so secured and they're not gonna get out, that
Yeah.
I sleep
And it
just fine.
honestly saves, I think it saves faster time with feeding them too, to be honest. I don't know. For me, when I have the critter keepers with the lid, sometimes it gets stuck and I feel like I can't do it in time to put the cricket in there real quick. But I feel like with the tarantula cribs, it's like an easy open, and like if you want, put the cricket in and close it. I feel like it's a lot easier to like close it faster if you needed to, especially for species that are known to just bolt when they
Right.
want to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. And like, you can like also crack the lid too if you just want to drop the food in there. If you have like a super reactive spider that reacts to water, like mine, like I have some that do, and yeah, you just don't want to be in their face when they're smacking,
No, which
or
I
when
think,
they're just in general. You do not want to get in their face,
no.
because I've heard stories of an HMAC like literally jumping on somebody's face, legs wrapped around everything. Like the spider didn't bite him, but like it freaking jumped on his face, and I believe it, because like, you know, like they feel you breathe on them, they'll react to it, and next you know you got a spider in the face. Like I'm sure if I did that with my Venezuelan sun tiger, I would end up with her on my face too, because she's super reactive to like any movement. I'm so scared to tongue feed her because she just comes out like,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. They're fast, man. And I'm just like those, it's just nice to be able to throw it in a little bit and then close it. It's just
Yeah.
the sliding of the tarantula cribs and stuff.
Yeah, or
And the
like,
top,
you
I
know,
have a top one too, so I can feed her from the top or the side.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, especially with those arboreal cribs.
That's the
Like,
one. Yep, the large.
yeah, and like Kat's saying is like, especially like the slider cribs, they have the lips on them so that like your spider's less likely to come running out at you compared to like, you know, if you just had no lip there. But they definitely
Yeah.
do help. And I freaking, yeah, I just love the tarantula cribs for sure.
I know. They're I want to switch all of mine over to there. I have, for the majority of part, I have their cribs, but it's hard to go to other ones once you do use their crib, their enclosures though.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's a
Yeah.
lot different than the critter keepers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do love my critter keepers though for
Yeah.
like my more arid species, because you know it does get pretty humid in like my pet room, so I like for my more arid species I do like to have that extra ventilation.
For
It
sure.
seems to help, especially because like my girl Bonnie, like she wasn't molting for like the longest time. She's my Mexican fireleg,
Okay.
and um and she was in a tarantula cribs that I didn't buy the ventilated top, and so the water just stayed in there much more than, you know, the critter keepers, and so she wasn't molting. But as soon as like I changed her over to the critter keeper, she molts, and then
Okay.
she molted more frequently. So if you guys like have like a tarantula that, you know, maybe there is too much moisture in there, you can always just like, you know, put them in a critter keeper. Just I'll just take all the substrate out and replace it. Like I just had to do that with one of my Phonopelma Samanis, because she likes to whenever I put her water dish in there and I fill it up with fresh water, she goes in, either throws dirt in it or she dumps it completely, so it like made her enclosure super wet. Super wet.
Oh,
And so like you know, like I noticed like she wasn't like she looked like she was ready to molt, but she just wasn't molting. So I did that. I took her out and replaced the soil half and half with dry and a little bit of still that wet substrate. Um, and she's now like burrowed up, ready to molt. So
oh, good.
yeah,
Yeah, just seem to change it out.
yeah, Yeah, and sometimes I do mist a little heavier, but don't, for the audience, if you guys ever just need to change some substrate, if it gets too wet, just change it. Take the spider
Yeah.
out, change the substrate, and your spider does not care. It's really not that stressful. And the thing is, you guys, about like stress and tarantulas, like tarantulas do not get stressed like your dog does, like when you
Mhm.
take them to the groomer. Like they're completely wired differently. So like just because you think that they're stressed out does not mean that they are stressed out. There are signs that you can look for that show that they're stressed out.
Mhm.
But if a tarantula is just going about stuff, that tarantula is not stressed out. Because I just, that's another pet peeve I have, is just like people assuming that tarantulas are so stressed out when they're just literally sitting there grooming themselves, not
Mm-mm.
even like bunched up in a corner or something. And I'm like, okay. But
Mm-mm.
and also you guys, like, when you're living with arachnids and other exotic pets, try not to be spraying cologne or perfume or super smelly smells anywhere near your pets. Even in the house, like if like you burn a candle, like don't do it in the same room as your animals. Don't spray your cologne in the same area as your animals. And I think that's why we are seeing the tarantulas with like DKS, which is that neurological disorder, because their senses are different than ours, and so like when they have these smells, like I think it's making them like neurologically disabled when you spray like hardcore cologne
Yeah,
next to
there's
them.
just
Or
it's like chemicals.
yeah,
Chemicals.
so
Hmm.
it could, yeah, but definitely you have to be careful about stuff like that. And yeah, that's just
Hmm.
something I definitely wanted to note, is making sure like you don't burn candles in your house, or if you do, you gotta look out for your animals. Because
Yep.
that
Especially the
is,
essential oils and stuff too.
oh my gosh, yes, I didn't even think about that. Because
Hmm.
like, yeah, like certain essential oils are like
Are
made to,
are are not good even for dogs and cats either.
yeah, like
Hmm.
they make, like either they like repel insects, or like they make your dog sick or something
Hmm.
crazy
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I generally like don't even like spray any of that stuff in my house. If I do, I have like windows open. Like when I'm using like cleaner, I have all the windows open.
Oh yeah, I feel like I have to move my spiders if I'm doing anything in our other room or anything when I clean, just because of the smell. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
not
Or
good.
like cooking. I'm also cautious of like cooking, like when my boyfriend's cooking in the kitchen and that burnt smell comes in here.
Oh,
I know my dog's sitting here too.
he just wants to be.
Oh, wee.
Yeah, I know.
I know, we love our dogs. Hello, me.
Honey,
Her breath is terrible though. I'll tell you, she's cute, but
what are you doing? Just figure it out.
her breath is terrible.
Sit.
Did our audience have any questions for us? I know, like, I always miss, like, the questions, like, as I'm talking.
And
Because,
then
like, if I
yeah.
look at it, I get distracted and,
Yeah,
like,
I haven't really. My eyes suck, so I didn't really see. So I wasn't
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I like to call it my brain leaves the station. Hi, there goes that idea. But, just gonna take a little break here for a second.
Yeah.
We are looking for new sponsors. So if you have a company and would like to sponsor this channel, especially pertaining to reptiles and arachnids, um we definitely would appreciate the sponsor. Like Tarantula Cribs, Mr. Mo, if you're watching this.
Yes,
Or
tarantula cribs.
I know, I love Mo. He's cool. He's such a nice person. Um, and you guys, like, I do want to tell this to you, especially for anybody watching. Tarantula Cribs has the best customer service ever. If you guys ever need a replacement, you know, your package got messed up, whatever it is, Mo will take care of it.
Mhm.
On God, I can promise you that. He's so great at getting back with like his customers or making things right. Like, I mean, like, not even that he needs to make anything right, but like, you know, sometimes like there's issues with the enclosures, and but he will send you new ones. And yeah, so I can literally tell you guys, like, 100% he will take care of you.
And
He's
fast shipping too. Like
fast shipping.
I didn't expect to get mine in like not even 2 days. It's like less than 2 days. I feel like it was a day and a half and I got mine. And I was like,
Yes,
this is insane. So yeah, unbelievable fast shipping. So thank
yes,
you,
yeah,
Tarantula Cribs, Mo.
yes, thank you,
'Cause
Mo.
yeah, it was when I got my pink toed and I didn't have an enclosure because I kind of was spur of the moment grabbed him because of what condition he was in. And it was like not even a day and a half and I got it. So
Yeah,
it was,
he's super fast about it. And
yeah.
especially if you message him, he's on it. And also, if you guys do subscribe to his chat on Instagram, he does offer like different discount codes for those members. And also, that's like the fastest way if you need to contact him, message him, or anything. That's where you should go to. Yes, it does require a subscription, but Mo and, like, you know, most people are busy, and so yeah, that's just the best way to do it. And honestly, like, I can't wait until I can do that myself, because I get a lot of people that
Hey.
do need help, but you know, sometimes I'm just not willing and ready to sit here and tell people step by step how to take care of a spider, you know? Like, do some research before, know what you're getting into, know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
And if you have some extra questions that you just can't find the answer to, I'm your person. But I definitely, if you guys start out with, "Hi, how you doing?" I'm not going to respond, because I'm not I don't want to talk. I'm only here to help with the spiders. So
I know we were talking earlier about Richard, but Richard has really good educational videos too.
yes,
Um,
Richard is like the man to look up on YouTube at the Tarantula Collective
mhm,
for all of your spider needs, advice, learning, like, especially if you're new and you're
mhm.
just getting into the hobby. Like, he
He
does
has
like both
a,
scientific
a
things.
whole video on different species, on care and housing, enclosures, environments, all that for specific species too,
Right,
which
and
is
like for the
awesome.
different life stages as well.
Yes. Yep.
And
Mhm.
also, if you guys do go on Tarantula Cribs YouTube as well, Richard also makes like a lot of his videos, um, like the educational ones, like how to set up this enclosure, how to
Mhm.
set up an arboreal enclosure. So there is like so many different ways to get your information.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm just like, you know, I'm just advising for you guys to do that first, because there are so many different creators out there that have so much good information to offer.
Mhm.
And so that information is out there. You just gotta do a little bit of the research, which, I mean, if you're getting into anything, whether it's a sport or, you know, a hobby, you're gonna have to learn like the rules and the everything that goes a part of it.
It's
So
like tarantula keeping for dummies. You got to start out
right,
kind of,
right.
yeah.
Right, and like, you know, it's not just as simple as bringing home that pet, or like
Mhm.
when you go to the exotic pet store. One thing that drives me crazy. Oh, was your
Oh
dream
man.
world tea?
Well, honestly, my dream one was the regalius, so I did get that one.
I love that species. I
And
have two.
I have when I got my rose hair long time ago, I have a tarantula book, and one of the spiders was that spider in that book. And I remember saying that I'm gonna get that spider, and I ended up getting
Aw,
it last year. So yeah, so that was yeah, so it's the P. regalius. Yeah,
yeah, that's
I'm really
awesome.
excited for her to be an adult because the color on that is insane. So
Yeah,
mhm.
I love my female, and the
She's
male.
so pretty.
Yeah,
She's so pretty.
she's such a pretty girl.
Mhm.
I love her. I got her from Dritz at Underdark Inverts, and they're so great to work with too, you know. They are, he runs his own business. Ritz does over there, and great people. Great.
Awesome.
He also does shows too, I believe, out where he
Okay.
lives. So, um,
We need, I don't know if anyone's going to reply, but I don't know about anyone coming to the East Coast. If anyone's doing any expos in the East Coast, let me know. Because I haven't really looked up any, but I love, and I know I told you it was going May, but there's any sooner. I'm just not sure. Or if
right.
any vendors are going to the East Coast anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like I wish I could go to like the shows that Tom Saxon goes to. I'm
Which
like,
ones does he go to? Is
he
he on the
lives
East?
in like he lives in New York.
Okay.
Somewhere.
I don't think he'll come down to Florida. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you know what? You do have like NARBC in Florida. They have
Mhm.
like the biggest reptile and exotic
Okay.
show in Florida. I when I figure out when that's happening, I'll send you the dates. My
Okay.
mom goes to it too. She took my niece to it.
Okay.
Um and dude, they had the best time. So
Okay.
I'm sure your kids would love it because like
Yeah.
a lot of those expos, like the people will allow like the children to hold the animals and experience
Mhm.
them, and because like I've been to expos where people are asking for
Oh,
you to pay $10 to take a photo with a crocodile. I'm like, that's
yeah, they
crazy.
did. Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, it is a hustle, but
It is.
the kids just want to learn people.
Yeah. Yeah.
New
Hmm.
England Reptile Expo. Ooh. White Plains, New York. That's one that's going on soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But did you have any other questions for me?
Um,
Anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so, love. I'm not. Do you have any questions for me?
Not that I can think of any
Mm,
now, but I have had a wonderful time having this chat with you.
you as well.
I did want to acknowledge the comment my mom just said. Yeah, my family, my mom and my other family lives in Florida too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Newport Richie?
Newport Richie. I think that's on the. Is that on the West Coast?
I'm not sure. I'm not super
Mm,
familiar with Florida, but it's
okay.
like it's not as south as like you can go. It's more north.
It's more north. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
away from the hurricanes. She's safe.
Northport Richie. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
think that's too far away from me. I don't know. Maybe about 3 hours or so. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
said
it's
you're.
still a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've had so much fun talking with you, and
Me
I just
too.
wanted to thank everybody in the audience that's watching for attending this episode and watching this live and supporting us as always. And for any sponsors that are possibly watching, please consider sponsoring this channel, as we do love to promote positive awareness for all arachnids and reptiles alike. And so thank you so much, Ashley, for your time today, and everybody. Just remember, friends, frogs, snakes, lizards, and spiders are your friends. Let's make a better world for them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
In the web of knowledge we spin all day, talking spiders every week they don't play. From the tarantula to the tiny mite, 8 legs of wisdom bringing truth to light. On the spider sense they break down the fear, creepy crawly legends are getting clear for the